Hello, this is Person, and today I'm going to start this episode off by showing you guys it has a little bit to do with getting to the roof of the Nether. After I show you this, I was trying to get oak wood because I needed some, and this tree turned out to be so large, I honestly don't think I could get rid of it if I wanted to, so that's going to be there forever. Or, I don't know how long it's going to be there. Now, I've known, well, since we've been able to dismount from minecarts and things like that using shift, people have basically figured out that you can use minecarts to get to the roof of the Nether. What I didn't know is that you could do that without pistons, you could do that without anything like that. And in fact, what I didn't know for sure was that you could do that without taking any damage at all. So, to do that, you'll need a little 3 blocks in a row of the top layer of bedrock, and each of those need air blocks below them. You'll need to be able to get to one of them on the end. I was fortunate enough, I just came out of my portal here and dug straight up, and then there were 2 in a row. There's actually another one right there. So, 3 in a row, and you need to be on the edge, or maybe like 1 here if this were air, and then there were these 2 or something. That could work as well. You want to basically get a minecart rail here facing that way, and if that doesn't work, you can just place 2 and then break one of them. And you want a ladder here. And then you're going to want to have the minecart by the ladder, or at least, you know, halfway in the same block as the ladder, at least halfway. And you notice when you use it, sometimes it comes out here. I don't think this ladder does anything, but it's there anyway. I don't feel like getting rid of it, because that would take up more space in my inventory, and I would hate to clear it out. All you got to do is come up here and push it out of the way. If you actually start by holding shift, and then forward into space, and then right click on this, you'll take 0 damage. You'll never take damage, and I had no idea about that now. But somebody else has figured that out. People are figuring out all kinds of different ways to get up here now, but I take more damage just going through portals. Yeah, of course you're going to want some obsidian and a lighter. Otherwise you'll need to starve yourself to get back down. Fortunately, I placed a portal. About every other time this thing will pop up in the middle, but you literally never take damage. I could understand if they made it to where you couldn't do that. Because it's kind of like cheating. It's going to allow me to do some farms and stuff so much more easily, and it's basically like cheating, but not really. I mean, you know, we're kind of exploiting a bug, and I don't consider that cheating. It's not allowing me to get like infinite items, just, you know, no effort whatsoever. I mean, I still have to build a farm and all that, but I don't have to put lava everywhere or non-spawnable blocks anywhere. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work on that elevator that I promised I would work on last time. I'm going to build 1 section at a time, and after every section I'm going to explain to you what it does, and then maybe in this episode we'll also get started on a zombie pigman farm that'll give us gold and tons of experience. So, let's do that. Okay, so what we have here is basically the wiring that goes to all 4 of these pistons that rotate these blocks around that in the middle. And those are going to be where our carts are and stuff like that. It's just piston tape, but it's the simplest part. In fact, you may have noticed that this could be a lot more compact. For sure, it definitely could, actually. But I've laid it out this way because in the end, there are going to be some more things that get in the way, and so we'll need more space here, or we'll need to have a solid block here instead, or something like that, or whatever. So this will make things easier for us in the end, and that is just a platform for me to stand on. So, yeah, so this is pretty simple. So we have an input right here and an input right here. We're going to control this with what I originally had was the red circuit before. It's now a brick circuit. I have red wool, but I guess I just didn't need bricks for anything whatsoever. So this is a pretty simple little circuit. I think should I block that off? Yeah, I should. It matters. It will matter if it doesn't now. So this is what we're going to do right here. Is this red circuit is basically going to determine whether the pulses go here or here. So it's determining whether we're going up or down. So, and that's it, really. So whether the piston has pushed the block out or whether it has not pushed it out, it's just going to determine, you know, whether it goes to the left or the right side. And it's a little uncompact again, But that one is my fault. That one's not because I can make it more compact. This one is actually because I don't know, I couldn't figure out a more compact way to do it. So, yeah, so, alright. Okay, so this is the first half of our, let me eat some steak, gray circuit. This is basically all it is the input runs in from behind this, and it generates a 2-tick pulse. This assures that the block is in this state. We're using only one piston. So, because it's easier, much easier. Much easier, actually. I know it's like we need all this wiring right here that you'll see in a minute. But anyway, so no matter where this block is, once this pulse is over with, it'll end up right there. And we'll have a redstone torch go on the opposite side of this, I think. And so this will turn back on and send a pulse into our clock. I've already created the clock. I wasn't thinking, but this is really originally our blue circuit. It's just a little 4 o'clock. It's not the whole thing though, so I didn't finish it because we need this first. We need actually that right there. Okay. And I also realized that there are dogs barking. So sorry. So this is the second half of our gray circuit. Now the bottom half generates a 2-tick pulse, but the second half, if you look here, also generates a second pulse, or a 2-tick pulse. So it's also going to reset it into the same exact state. And I'll tell you why in a second. It should be obvious, but what's going to happen here, this piston pushes down, turns this on, which turns this on and goes down into the old input. Now the wall is going to be right here. Yeah. So that'll send a pulse out right here. 2-tick pulse goes to the exact same place. However, on a delay, it also is going to send a 1-tick pulse. So that way, we reset it to this state every time, except for when we do it from up there, we have it moved over here. So it doesn't really matter where we have this. But, oh, yes, it does. It's stuck. Okay, so, and we're going to get started on pretty much the last part, and that's just the rest of this clock. Pretty much, this would already almost work. Almost done. So you can definitely see that the rest of this clock is the whole reason the elevator's so huge, because it's just inefficient. It's before I had a much more clever way of doing this, and now all it is this sends out a pulse which goes to this clock, and then after a delay of the appropriate time, we cut it off right here. This is diagonally powered, and we use this to update it. Now the reason I didn't just have it straight powered was, as you can see right there. So that was in the way, and that's actually why I had this here before. So yeah, so that's actually it. That's the whole thing. This works now. Already works. So that's great. And I'm actually going to do some more stuff though, some more optional stuff to make sure that as few of these fence gates as possible will get powered. So that's where the really optional stuff comes in. We actually need them to be powered right here. We need them to be, unpowered. We actually need them to be powered here because, well, they'll be unpowered when you're writing it and you won't be able to write it. So it's a pretty simple part. I just need to place some down here. So I'll just do all that right now. No problem. Okay, so I went ahead and finished it, did everything. You can see that all the stuff is in place already. All the cars, is that what you call them? Yeah, so did that, and discovered in the process that like that right there was set to 2 ticks when it should have been 1. On the red circuit down here, actually on the other side of that, you can't see it. The redstone and the repeater were switched around, so the signal is never getting through. Stuff like that. But yeah, I decided to go with this purple stained clay, just like I did in the original one, because I love the purple stained clay. So this powers basically every fence that'll come through here, so that it doesn't unpower and close, except for on the very bottom, and also right here, you may have seen already, I don't know. But it all works, everything's done about it. All we need to do is just show you that it does, and if it doesn't work, that would be silly. Yeah, there we go, it works just fine, and in fact, the last piece goes right here, just because it's even, just because there's one downstairs too. Yeah, there's one downstairs. Oops, one more time for fun. So, I don't think it's been very long, but what I may do is I might go ahead and build a zombie pigman farm in the nether. We can get tons of experience there instead. People might hate me for that. If anybody doesn't like that, then that's fine. I will stop. I don't know of anyone who has any problems with me being on top of the nether, though, so I guess it is kind of like cheating. Like I said, it makes it really super duper easy. But yeah, we're gonna head on right there, and I'm just gonna go far out. And yeah, so I'll see you guys when I pick a spot. And here we are. So I built a little ladder going up, and I didn't realize this is actually most of the resources we're going to use for this whole thing, believe it or not, because it goes up so far. I think from this angle it kind of looks like a spine. I don't know, not really, maybe a little bit. Like these kind of look like little discs. Ignore that. Yeah, so it's cool. So this is, we're just going to come here to go up. Eventually what I'll do is I'll wind up using minecarts. So you can just come in here and just hold right click and make it to the top in like, a couple seconds. But yeah, right now we're going to need to climb all the way up to the top. And here we are at the top. So I don't actually know, this is in my test version of this. I built it up a few blocks higher, so I don't know that we're high enough up. But yeah, this is still should work pretty well because we're 100 blocks away, 110 blocks away at least from any air blocks. I don't know, like they won't spawn if it's more than 140 blocks away. So we might get a couple spawns right below us. I don't know. Likely the ones that are down there are at least despawning, so we might have to go down there someday and do something. But anyway, this is the size it's going to be. This is going to come out 7 blocks. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then take a turn. And in this direction, it's basically infinitely expandable, although it doesn't make sense to expand it infinitely. And on top of this, we definitely don't want zombie pigmen spawning in here with us. So these need to be non-spawnable blocks. The way I have it set up, they're going to land on half slabs, so we can have like a minecart below them, or even just a minecart with a hopper, any kind of hopper below where they fall, so that way, like if we don't manage to get all their loot, then the hopper will. So we need a half slab there, and in order to like see them, the optimal viewpoint would be standing right here on this level, not a half block lower or higher. So, oh yeah, well if we go one higher, then we have to raise what's above us by another block, and if we do that, the little baby pigmen can get in here, and even if it's just one, they will destroy us. So we don't want that to happen at all. It's got to be pretty safe. So I'm going to build this around. I'm going to build out a full square, and yeah, I'll be right back. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, God. Oh, man, here we go. Sweet. I mean, you would not survive if you just accidentally clicked on the wrong place. Okay, so it looks like since I'm now out of time, and I also don't have nearly enough golden rails for this, I'm going to need about maybe another 150 more. They're not all going to have to go all the way across, but this one does, because the power is right here, and we need to have a powered rail next to this block so that the cart will continue. But you get an idea of how this is going to look on bottom, and we're going to have, all down here we'll have like a enchanting table, and we'll have a little place we can go to jump down there if we press a button. And they'll actually spawn up here. There aren't going to be any pigmen down here in our way. But yeah, so I'm going to lay down as many rails as I can, and I'll see where that gets me. But for now, it looks like I'm going to have to be done, and I'll finish this, definitely, next time I get a chance to record. So, thanks for watching, guys. I had a lot of fun doing this, still having a lot of fun. I'm going to work on this quite a bit more, and I'll see you guys later.